I'm doing this tutorial in response to a question that I got from one of the followers in the channel. He had a large spreadsheet with raw data where he was making some calculations, and he only wanted to share the results with index values. He didn't want to share his raw data, and he was trying to hide the sheets and protect the sheets that had his raw data, but he had to update it on a regular basis. And he said, if I unhide it, people who have access to the sheet will be able to see my raw data. So that's not the right way to, that's not the best way to do it. There's no right or wrong, but it's definitely not the best way to protect your data. What I suggested he do is use ImportRange. So I said I will also do a tutorial explaining how to use ImportRange, because then what you can do is you keep your raw data in a separated spreadsheet, so you don't have any issues with people accessing data that they are not supposed to be seeing. Okay, so in this spreadsheet here, what I've done is I have a tab with my raw data, which is basically actual cost per unit of whatever I'm selling. And I don't want people to be able to see the actual cost. I just want them to be able to see index cost, which means I said, for example, here that guavas cost 100, so they are the most expensive item, and everybody else is compared to guavas, so how expensive the other items are compared to guavas, without actually sharing how much each of the items cost. So I'm willing to share that. I am not willing to share my raw data, which is how much the items actually cost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a new spreadsheet. So File, new spreadsheet, and I'm going to call it index fruit cost. And in the spreadsheet here, I am going to import the data that is here in the first sheet, which I am willing to share. So going back to my new spreadsheet, which is called index fruit cost, I'm going to start typing equals import range. So as always, I'm using the helper. I really like to use the helper. And the helper is telling me how the formula works here. So first I'm going to need the spreadsheet URL and then the range string. Important is that the spreadsheet URL has to go in between inverted commas. So I'm going to start at inverted commas. I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet that has my data. And I have literally to copy the URL that is up here. So you can either copy the whole URL, or you can only copy the key, which is the part that is unique to the spreadsheet in between here. So I'm going to copy the key, right click, copy. I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet, paste it, close the inverted commas, and then I'm gonna add a comma, and then up to the second part of the formula here, which is the range string. So the range string, let's go back to the spreadsheet that has my data. The range string is basically the name of the sheet that has your data. So the formula knows where to go and fetch the data, and then the range. So the name is calculated data. So I'm just going to copy. I double clicked here, Control C to copy back to the second spreadsheet, and I'm going to paste the range string, Control V. I have to add an exclamation mark, and again you can see here how it works. Okay, I have to name of the sheet, exclamation mark, and then the range. So the range that I'm looking to share is A1 up to B26. So I'm just gonna type calculated data A1 to B26, close the inverted commas, and that's my import range. Now the first thing that I'm going to get is a reference error, because I need to connect the two sheets. Basically, I need to get this spreadsheet, I need to give it access to import the data from the other spreadsheet. So I'm going to allow access, and ta-da, as per magic, the range has been imported. So now I have safely shared only the data that I'm willing to share, and I have protected my raw data, which is in a different sheet that I am not sharing.